What's going on, Brogue Squadron? It's your bro host, Chris Ryans.
And I'm Daniel Miller, and we are the fuel to kickstart your Star Wars Comics Week right in the hyperspace with a quick shot of BROAXIUM.
And on shelves this week, we've got the High Republic Adventures from IDW, number 4.
And we're starting off with the War of the Bounty Hunters with the Alpha issue, presented to you by our guest bro host, Alex Damon from Star Wars Explained.
So, you might want to buckle up, baby.
And let's
punch it.
We start with Zine and Lula in front of an idyllic backdrop. Everything is calm, peaceful, quiet. The two friends are meditating, eyes closed, focused. Lula teaches Zine about the Force, the energy that binds us, connects us. They break focus. Lula can sense something is bothering Zine. She tries to play it cool, but she can't hide it from Lula. Her thoughts dwell on Crix. She wonders, why hasn't he responded to her last message? A break in the silence. The alarm sounds. Lula and Zine run to find out what's going on and run into their friend Farzala. It seems that a regular patrol may have spotted a Nihil outpost. The Jedi take off to investigate and leave the Padawans behind. But come on, has anything bad ever happened from leaving a bunch of younglings unsupervised? Okay, yes, that time. Okay, and that time too. Okay, something bad always happens, I get it. We hop over to Crix with Marchion Ro. We learn that the Jedi are headed towards a diversion that he's created. Sounds like it's a trap? They're on a moon filled with trash, and some of the local, Junkmavens are causing them some trouble. Marchion Ro sends Crix after them to take care of these junkyard dwellers. Crix catches up to his target, but before he deals with her, he executes Marchion Ro's plan and sends a message to Zine, telling her to meet him on the moon. They'll get away from all of this, the Jedi, the Nihil, but I don't know, something about Crix just doesn't seem right. This feels like it could backfire. Speaking of backfiring, the Jedi fighters, including Buckets of Blood and Yoda, approach the diversion awaiting them. All chaos breaks loose and they end up in a fight for their lives. What will happen to the Jedi? Will the Padawans be safe back on the Republic outpost? And what will Zine do with Crix's message? Pick this one up at your local comic book shop to find out more.
Hey everyone, Alex from Star Wars Explained here. I'm going to be offering my spoiler-free thoughts on the new War of the Bounty Hunters Alpha, the prelude that's going to start kicking off the whole War of the Bounty Hunters crossover event. This is basically just kind of the setup for how Boba Fett loses Han Solo. That's the big catalyst for everything that's going to start happening, and it was something that was important to me. I think that the setup is important. Like, why does Boba Fett lose Han Solo? Why does he make a pit stop where this very important cargo he has is allowed to be stolen? And I'm happy to say that I'm very satisfied with how Charles Soule wrote that. I shouldn't be surprised at all. Charles Soule is one of my favorite Star Wars comic writers, or Star Wars writers, frankly, in the business right now. So he pulled that off. I won't get into why, but I'm like, yes, this makes perfect sense to me. I was afraid that he was just kind of like being very casual with his bounty, and it's like, yeah, Jabba wants this guy, but I'm just gonna drag my feet in getting him there, kind of like the way Han drags his feet in paying Jabba back after A New Hope, and he never gets around to it, and he loses the money. Like, that's a very Han Solo thing to do. That works for me. If Boba Fett were doing the same thing, I'd be a little disappointed, but that's not the case. He loses Han Solo in a very believable way. Now, there was still some things in this issue where I was not crazy about it. Like, it just seemed like a little more forced, I guess I would say, without getting into too many details. But ultimately, I'm kind of just nitpicking here. Like, the issue is still very entertaining and has some crazy, just like, what the hell moments, but in that fun Star Wars kind of way. I'm not going to nitpick too much. I'm still definitely excited for the rest of this crossover event. I think that, yeah, the setup is satisfactory, and I'm more excited to see, what the Star Wars comic does with this, what the Darth Vader comic does, Dr. Aphra, and of course Bounty Hunters, and all these one-shots that they have planned. the point of this issue was just to, kick things off, get Boba Fett to lose Han Solo, and then that'll eventually become public knowledge, and everyone is going to try to recover Han Solo for their own reasons. It's like the Shadows of the Empire, the comic side of that story back in the day, but cranked up to 11, because it kind of tells a similar story where all the bounty hunters, Bosk and Forlom and Dengar and everyone, are after Boba Fett, and they want to try to take Han Solo away from him, but that was told over the course of just like 6 issues or something. So this is going to be a lot more involved, and already I think it's taking it in an exciting direction. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Alpha, and I'll let you go back to BROAXIUM now. Thanks so much for having me.
And thanks for joining us for another quick shot of BROAXIUM.
And a huge shout out to Alex Damon from Star Wars Explained for coming on and giving us his quick shot preview of War of the Bounty Hunters Alpha #1.
Make sure you check out our merch at our TeePublic store, and consider checking out our new Patreon page and help support BROAXIUM. And here are this week's Patreon shoutouts.
And hello, what have we here? Looks like we've got the Calrissian Chronicles from Blue Panther Milk Co. and those guys at BROAXIUM. Make sure you check it out. And make sure you check out the Star Wars Splash Page podcast for in-depth reviews on all the new Star Wars comics every week.
And may the Force be with you.
Always.